Hi there. So this is my video about how to do college research and look up campus visit options that are virtual. I'm going to take you through a step-by-step that's hopefully pretty easy to follow and shows you that college research and building a college list really doesn't have to be that scary. Hopefully it can even be a little fun. So bear with me, but here we go. And by the way, I'm doing this with colleges that I myself intended to visit this coming April that got canceled. So I'm super bummed. And I've never actually done research on these colleges, which is why I wanted to visit them. But while I have helped students apply to hundreds of schools across the US and even internationally, there are sometimes certain schools that just haven't really come across my radar because maybe students just weren't interested in them or they weren't a good fit. And so it just so happens that I have a list of, I think, 5 schools that I'm going to go through and do college research for the first time in a very intentional way. So this really is me doing it like a student who has, never really done college research before. Of course, I've done it a lot. It's a big part of what I do as a college consultant, but these schools in particular, I'm not familiar with the websites. I'm not familiar with how, their pages are built online or what they offer in terms of virtual settings. So I am going in blind right now. So again, bear with me, but this way you'll hopefully see that it's not actually super crazy hard or you don't have to have specialized knowledge to find this information online. So let's look at the schools that we're going to be researching. So let's talk college research. You'll see here I have a list of schools on CALFO, which is what Bright Futures uses to keep track of student college lists and also help them just in their admissions and application process. But these are some different schools that I have added for myself. I was going to do a campus tour, which is not currently possible due to the coronavirus, but even more of a reason why I should go ahead and just do some college research. So like I said, I'm starting from scratch. So I will click on Carnegie Mellon and go ahead and go to their college website. When you get to a college website, don't be intimidated by the videos and the overwhelming amount of information that as you scroll through, you might be presented with. None of this seems super relevant to me if I'm just a student looking for some initial information about a college. So instead, I'm going to go to the menu, and there are usually some categories that you can focus on when you're doing your initial research. Almost all schools, which we'll see, have a similar list of categories in their menu title. So you'll see academics, admissions, about, they'll usually offer something about visiting. You want to focus on admissions, academics, and visiting. Let's focus on those 3 things. Why we focus on academics is so you can see if they have your major. We're going to focus on admissions to see what's required for applying to the college. And then, of course, there's the visiting information. Getting on campus, exploring student life, or if we can't get on campus, then seeing what they have for virtual options. All of those things are part of the college research that you're going to want to take notes on. You can always go back and delve in a little deeper, but those are the 3 primary things that I would say to start with when looking at a college. So this is Carnegie, but let's jump over to Kenyon and see what they have. So you'll see here for the Kenyon College website, which is a smaller school about an hour outside of Columbus, they have a lot less going on, not some crazy videos that I find very distracting, but the same types of options up here on the menu. You'll see the about, they have academics, they have admissions, and then they have, of course, the student life options and all of that. What they don't have right here in the big purple rectangle is the visit option, but you'll see here, oh, it's hiding up at the very top. Where it says Visit Kenyon right here. So again, same types of options. Look at academics, look at admissions, and then look at what's possible in terms of visiting or getting to know the campus. Gonna do one last one for Ohio State, and then we'll talk about something else. So Ohio State, OSU, is the biggest college we're looking at. It's a really big state school in Columbus, Ohio. And you'll see here that they have, again, the same types of options. You are always going to be, if you're in high school, a future student or prospective student. You're going to be an undergraduate. So you'll see here in the undergraduate option the different things you can click on, such as admissions, what an application will look like, the majors, make sure they have a major that you're interested in. And then if you want to visit, you'll see that's the last option. So they have it listed out for you pretty easily. Now, let's pretend you're ready to take the next step. You've done some initial research about the college. You've established that it's in a location that you're okay with, that it has the major, minor, or program of study that you want to pursue, and you've also made sure it's a good academic fit. It looks like that you're within the range of students that they're looking at, whether by GPA or SAT or ACT scores, or it's at least a goal that you are currently trying to achieve. And the next step would be to reach out to the college itself and connect. Ideally, we would do this with an on-campus visit, but if that's not possible, here are some alternative steps. So let's go through Kenyon College, and under admissions is where we would say that you want to connect with someone on campus. The best way to do this is through either the admissions office or a particular counselor. So for example, Kenyon, you'll see on the left, representatives by region, or meet your admissions representative. So these are ways that some colleges offer an opportunity to connect with the person directly who is assigned to either your state, your part of the city, or even your part of the country. So since I'm in Texas, I would scroll down, find my Texas representative, and this is going to open up his email. For other schools, it might just provide you the email or his phone number, but it'll give you some contact information. So then I would go ahead and create an email. Here's an example of an email that you might want to use. Again, let it reflect your personality. You want to be polite, you want to be friendly, but you don't want to be overly casual or sound, so formal that they really don't get a sense of your character. So I just made a simple little draft that you're welcome to copy or use, again, as a way of starting your own email. Just start with a simple hello, or if you know their name directly, I might say hello, Mr. Hatch, and that's only if I'm sure it's a Mr. or Miss. Otherwise, I might just put hello, Guy, or hello, Robin, or Jared, or whatever their name is. I'm a junior at XYZ High School. Make sure to put the name of your high school in here, because sometimes representatives are divided up by high schools within a certain city. So especially if you're talking to an in-state representative or a college that is in your city. So I'm a junior at XYZ High School, and I am interested in learning more about your university. I have already, and this is where you can put what you've already done to learn about the university in general. So I can put, I have already looked at your website and the application and admission information and at the different programs I'm interested in, and I feel like I'd be a good fit. So maybe you've gone on campus, maybe you've talked to people who have attended the school. You could have an older brother or a friend, a parent. Whatever that is, you can put that you have already done that and you would now like to, and here are some different options of what you might want to do. You could ask about topics not covered on the website. Maybe you have a very specific question about their political environment. Maybe you want to know if they offer business programs or business students study abroad options, or maybe even connect with a current student. That's another really great opportunity. You can ask to speak to a student who is on campus or has been recently on campus and can give you a good frame of reference for what attending the school is like. Or you can ask to speak with someone in the program you want to attend. That could be a professor, a dean of the college. Again, if I'm pretending that I'm interested in business, I can say, I would love to speak to someone in your business department or business program who can give me more information about what the classes and courses of study are like. Then you end with something expressing your thanks or your gratitude for their help. And when you sign off, make sure to include your phone number, your email, especially if it's a different email than what you're emailing from. If you're emailing from a school email and would prefer they contact you on a personal email, put that there. And then also include your city and state, because it may not be apparent from your high school. And if they divide it into regions, again, this is a good way for them to have some frame of reference of where you're coming from. So include all those things in any kind of email. Don't be too afraid of sending something wrong or that doesn't sound professional enough. As long as it's polite, you've spell checked it to the best of your ability. Admissions people are usually pretty flexible and really just want to get to know you. They're not going to be, scrutinizing your every word in just this initial email. So don't worry too much about it. If you are worried, run it by a parent or your college counselor and get some feedback. But otherwise, feel free to send those emails and start delving in a little deeper on your college research. And for those of you who are just starting to do your research and don't have any kind of form to use or don't know what format you would like, here's just an example. It's something I've created on an Excel spreadsheet. It just has a few categories. Again, the name of the college, the admissions, test scores that are typically seen by incoming freshmen, and then you have the GPA. Usually it's a range of what they're looking for. The location, because if you're like me and you're geographically challenged, you might want to remember where certain universities are located. So put the city and state. Then you also can note the tuition. Remember that private schools are typically going to have the same tuition for all students, and they're going to have in-state and out-of-state tuition. And double check that that tuition number includes room and board. If you're staying on campus and eating on campus, that's going to be an extra cost. Then you have majors. I have that listed because sometimes majors are notated as different things. They have different titles. So perhaps you are interested in business, but you don't know whether you want to do marketing or finance. Maybe a college only offers finance but not marketing. You'd want to note that here. Maybe you're undecided, so you're just listing majors that sound interesting. That's also fine. Under size and housing, again, this is just giving you a frame of reference for how big the campus is, whether they offer on-campus housing for freshmen. Are you going to be required to find an apartment if they run out of housing? So you just want to know what you're dealing with. And then under special notes, this is just anything that matters to you or something interesting or noteworthy that you want to remember. You can put it there. Sometimes I'll see students, again, put comments about, I didn't like the dorms, or their curriculum seems really strict, or I really liked the tradition of XYZ. And that's really fun to include on these spreadsheets. Feel free to add your own categories. Again, this is just something to start off with. And I encourage you to see what works for you. Thanks for listening in or looking in on my video about doing college research and campus visits that are done virtually. I hope you learned something, but what I really want to emphasize is that it's important to take notes on things, whether it's on the actual campus visit or while you're doing your research. Some of you really like spreadsheets, others are going to keep notes in your iPhone, and even some will keep notes old school and do it like in a journal or handwritten. But either way, you want to take note of what you like, what you don't like about the school. Feel free to form an opinion. Feel free to have an opinion about things that seem silly, like whether the dorms felt claustrophobic or people seemed happy or stressed out on campus. Maybe you didn't like the smell in the air because it's too country or it's too city and it just feels weird. All of those things matter. So even beyond the academic fit and whether they have your major and if you're going to be able to fit in that way, it's really important to decide how you feel, if not on campus, then as close to on campus as you're going to get. So remember to take note of all that, and that it does matter in the end that you like the school you're going to. So I hope to see or hear from you all in some form or fashion soon. Otherwise, stay safe.